Live from KSTP TV St. Paul, Minneapolis, this is Channel 5 Eyewitness News at 6.
Don Vogel died this morning at 9:37 a.m. at home with his wife, Janet, with him.
He was a man with an infectious cackle, a wicked wit, and 1,000 voices. Minnesota lost a terrific broadcaster and a terrific friend today, and that's our top story here at 6 o'clock. Don Vogel definitely loved to poke fun and make people laugh.
Among Vogel's favorite targets, himself and the fact that he was blind. Don died this morning at the age of 49 following a lengthy battle with cancer.
Tom Houser joins us now from KSTP AM radio. This is a very sad day, no matter how you look at it.
It is sad, Chris, especially for those of us who love to listen to Don's witty commentary about current events. But Don Vogel told his colleagues over at KSTP AM that he didn't want people to mourn his death. Rather, he wanted them to celebrate his life. He loved being at the helm of a radio microphone, and that's exactly where he wants people to remember him.
I take full responsibility.
Don Vogel had one of the most versatile voices in local radio. He loved to use that voice and his KSTP microphone to poke fun at just about everyone, including himself.
But I am not a crook. That's right. Let me make one thing perfectly clear.
He lived for his wife and radio and the Chicago Cubs.
David Ruth worked closely with Vogel while producing his afternoon saloon show the past 2 years. Today, he produced the show on which Joe Souchere passed along the news about Don Vogel's death and reminisced about Don's wonderful talents.
Not only was Vogel a great singer, but a great impressionist.
Vogel once combined those two talents in this marvelous parody of a Bob Dylan song after Lou Holtz left the U of M for Notre Dame.
You were real bold, said Minnesota was cold, that's what you were told. Was it Lou?
Don Vogel was blind all his life, but never wanted anyone to feel sorry for him. At a St. Paul Saints game, he threw out the first pitch. It went straight into a dugout. In typical Vogel character, he laughed at himself. And in typical character, he didn't want today to be a sad day.
Been asked to carry on here. We weren't asked, we were told by Mr. Vogel to carry on as normal.
And again, Don Vogel dead today at the age of 49. He died of bladder cancer that was just diagnosed last August. He had taken a long leave of absence from the radio station, but he went back to work all the way up until May 19th, just a couple of weeks ago. And people who worked with him say that he put all of his energy into doing those shows, and that when he was done with the shows, he was physically ill because he worked so hard. But that's what he wanted to do. Radio was what he loved. And he had a great sense of humor. A lot of people around town have probably seen the bumper stickers, "Let a blind man drive you home." After today, someone else will have to do the driving. Chris and Colin.
I'd seen those bumper stickers when I first came to Minnesota. I could not figure out what the heck they were talking about until tuning into Vogel.
Yeah, and he didn't mind that people poked fun at the fact that he was blind, and he didn't take it too seriously, didn't take life very seriously, and he was just a lot of fun, and he's going to be missed.
Oh, yes, he is.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. A frightening sight this afternoon for some Fridley parents. Police officers swarming around an elementary school. The reason, manhunt for two double murder suspects. Police found one, Joseph J. Morrow, hiding underneath a camper shell near Woodcrest Elementary School. Barry Dodd was also arrested. The pair are prime suspects in the April 25th murders in Spring Park. The victims were found in an apartment building garage.
It was a rough start to the school day for some Minneapolis students as well, the result of a bus crash. The accident happened at the intersection of 14th and Lyndale Avenue North. The bus and a van collided at the corner. No students were injured, but the van driver was hospitalized with slight injuries. The cause of the crash is under investigation. A second man is now dead, the result of an ultralight crash near Rochester. The small plane had spiraled to the ground at a Wanamingo airport about a week and a half ago on May 25th. 41-year-old Charles Steberg was a passenger in the ultralight. He died yesterday at a Rochester hospital. The pilot, Lanny Baumgartner of West Concord, died at the scene of the crash. The cause of that accident remains under investigation.
More than 70 Minnesotans are packed and ready to head off to the Caribbean, but this will be no summer vacation. The Fort Snelling Army reservists will spend the next 6 months in Cuba and Haiti dealing with immigration and transportation problems. Reporter Art Barron has details.
These Minnesota Army reservists at Fort Snelling are preparing for two missions. The White House has called on them to replace an existing Minnesota unit in Cuba since January. Their purpose? To bolster morale and work with migrants in Guantanamo Bay. But most of these men and women, about 55 of them, are packing up their equipment and supplies for their non-combative roles in Haiti.
Of Civil Affairs, we serve as a liaison between the civilians and the military, and we're there to help the people with whatever they need done.
Things like rebuilding their police force, the school systems, and digging wells.
We're not the doers, we're the coordinators, we're the recommenders, and we've got the skills in our unit, civilian skills, to do that.
The reservists have packed their gear and they're ready to take off at a moment's notice. But it's not going to be easy because many of them won't be able to see their families for at least a half a year. Captain Joe Zarnick's family already gave him a send-off with their hugs and kisses. His wife Lucy and 3 children will miss him while he's away for the half-year mission.
They know he's going to come back. But I think it bothers them a little bit.
We'll be writing a lot of letters because, of course, we have an APO address, and generally speaking, our letters will go out without postage. We don't need postage. To get a phone line down there will be nearly impossible, so a lot of letters.
Captain Zarnick has been looking forward to this trip. He plans to be back with his reservists from the 407th Civil Affairs Battalion in 6 months with some souvenirs for the loved ones. At Fort Snelling, Art Barron, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
The last activation of the 407th at Fort Snelling was December of 1980. That was for Operation Desert Storm.
Well, are you looking to buy your first home, but perhaps you don't have enough money for the down payment or your credit isn't quite perfect? No problem. There's great news tonight thanks to President Clinton and lenders across the nation. As Angela Davis reports, an extra 150,000 Minnesota families could now qualify for home ownership.
There's no shortage of for sale signs along Twin Cities streets. Plenty of houses are up for grabs, but few people are going after them. President Clinton hopes to change all that. How? By creating a partnership among housing and banking officials that gives first-time home buyers a break. In some cases, down payments and closing costs will be reduced, and poor credit ratings will carry less weight. This house in Minneapolis, complete with a picket fence, became a dream home for Hope Powell and her 2 kids. After years of renting an apartment, she recently became a homeowner.
Yeah, it is a difference because you feel better about yourself. You really do. I mean, when you own something, you know, you just feel better about yourself. You feel really good. And it's a security for your children, too.
A partnership of housing and government leaders in Minnesota is pledging support of the president's plan. They hope to create 160,000 new home buyers here by the year 2000.
Both cities really are pushing homeownership because they feel that it's a way to stabilize the community and to give people a stake in the community. I mean, if you know that you're going to be living there for the next 5 years, you're going to care a lot about what happens to your neighbors, what happens to your street.
In many cases, they assume that home ownership is not something that is possible for them, and that's part of the myth that we're trying to dispel. Home ownership is possible for many people with incomes as low as $20,000.
Opportunity is knocking. Angela Davis, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
The state of Minnesota ranks second in the nation behind West Virginia for the high percentage of people who own homes.
70 homes and bridges near the St. Croix River would be condemned if a planned new bridge goes through. In about an hour, the City Council of Oak Park Heights will vote on whether to support the plan or to fight what most say would be a losing battle.
Well, I lose my home and I lose my business. I guess I start all over.
John Kohler owns an auto repair business in Oak Park Heights. He also owns a home just down the street. Both properties are in a zone that would be leveled to make room for a new bridge across the St. Croix River.
I think at this point it can only help.
Chris Mose says his Stillwater restaurant would benefit from a new bridge. Right now, a lot of the people driving in town are just passing through destination Wisconsin. They're not his customer base.
Just being that so much of the traffic that comes through the downtown is from a lot of the local businesses, one being Anderson Windows, which employs a lot of people from Wisconsin. It's clogging up the downtown area, and I feel if they can get that traffic out, that the more tourists will come down because it'll be more accessible.
One of the reasons for the traffic clog is that the current bridge wasn't built to handle all this traffic. It's only 2 lanes wide and has to be raised often to allow boats through. The new bridge would be 4 lanes wide and plenty high. It would be located to the south, diverting most of the commuter traffic away from Stillwater, but right through this Oak Park Heights neighborhood. 70 homes and businesses here would have to go.
Very, very frustrating. It's very hard to concentrate on the business and run a business and have this on your mind also. And that's one of the biggest problems. And like I say, it's been for probably the last year they've really been serious on this. And it's weighed more and more on my mind all the time.
Well, it's a tough decision, no matter how you cut it. If the Oak Park Heights Council votes against the bridge tonight, the decision would then be up to an appeals board. One way or the other, we'll have results of the council's vote tonight on Eyewitness News at 10 o'clock.
Chris, the debate tonight in Shoreview is abortion and picketing. A recent Supreme Court ruling has the city in legal limbo. Shoreview passed a law to keep protesters from gathering outside the home of Jerry Rasmussen. Rasmussen manages the Midwest Health Center for Women, a clinic which provides abortion services. The U.S. Supreme Court threw out a similar law, so the Shoreview City Council will meet tonight at 7 to discuss how to revise that law.
One woman is under arrest, another on the run. Both are suspected bank robbers. That story is still ahead.
Plus, he pleaded poverty all the way to the U.S. Senate. Now IR leaders blast Paul Wellstone for hanging out in Beverly Hills.
And here's an interesting one. A little later, go to the state fair this year and get paid for it. The search for workers begins.
And a day of showers and thunderstorms looks like it's going to turn into a night of the same. I'll tell you about it with the Channel 5 forecast. It's coming up.
Camcorders are over this way, Irv. That's a computer that we bought at the warehouse store, Irv.
Better. This one's better.
Well, we kind of knew what we wanted.
I could have used a little advice.
Okay, we paid less.
We paid more.
Get a $100 price break on this Packard Bell multimedia computer with Pentium processor, phone answering machine, color monitor, and more. Now just $1499.97 with $1,000 pre-installed software package.
I could have bought a better computer.
For less?
Circuit City, the computer experts.
What's making a sensation? It's not just dinner. It's new dinner sensations from Betty Crocker. You make the dinner that makes the sensation. With dinner sensations, you get savory sauce and ribbon pasta. Add your own choice cuts of meat, and you've created a great dinner you never thought you had time to make. Then what's making a sensation? You are. Why just make dinner when you can make dinner sensations?
No matter how you make your summer getaway, Amoco is making getting there easier than ever. Because now, each high-quality Amoco gasoline is the same price whether you pay with cash or with your credit card. And at plenty of Amoco locations across America, you can pay right at the pump and be on your way. Because we know that when you're ready to relax, every minute counts.
Last weekend, I met someone I'd known a long time ago. Funny thing is, she hadn't changed a bit. She still liked the same things. Live music, late-night walks along the lake. And the best thing about all the walking and shopping we did that weekend, I found something I didn't even know I was looking for.
It can happen in Chicago. Call 1-800-2CONNECT with the perfect weekend. 1,000,000 miles from Monday in Illinois.
Have the Baron anytime. Red Baron Deep Dish Singles.
Senator Paul Wellstone's Green Bus Tour established him as a political outsider in his election campaign 5 years ago.
Well, now Minnesota Republicans say it's Wellstone on the inside looking out. In ads back in 1990, Wellstone criticized then-Senator Rudy Boschwitz for being a Washington insider, accepting large campaign contributions. Now IR say it's Wellstone on the inside, raising big money at an exclusive re-election fundraiser in Beverly Hills last week.
The point is that he constantly tries to portray this image of being a populist, a man of the people, someone who is not tainted by special interest groups. And very clearly his record in office for the last 4.5 years has been anything but that.
These are lies and distortions about Paul Wellstone's record, and it's an attempt to assassinate the character of a very good public servant.
DFLers say this is a sign that next year's Senate election is going to be nasty.
The nationwide search continues for the Bloomington bank manager accused in a $125,000 ripoff. Chi Chang vanished on Thursday shortly after opening the TCF Bank branch on Penn Avenue South. Police say Chang disabled the bank's video camera and security alarm, then emptied the vault. Chang was last seen at a Minnesota casino. Another woman accused of bank robbery is in jail tonight, along with her alleged sidekick. Misty Davis Roth and Andre Dion Jones are both being held without bail. They are the prime suspects in 3 local bank robberies, the most recent one Thursday in Eagan. The FBI, along with 3 local police forces, teamed up Saturday to arrest Roth and Jones in Plymouth.
An update and an appeal on a story we told you back about not too long ago. A Twin Cities teenager dies in a barrage of bullets. Now St. Paul police need your help to find those responsible for killing the young man. Tonight, Channel 5 and Crime Stoppers hope you know some information to help solve the murder that happened during the peak of rush hour. Gunfire erupted outside a car wash on North Lexington Avenue in St. Paul on Friday, April 28th. The shooting happened just before 6 that night, right during rush hour. Police found 17-year-old Brandon Mann in the alleyway next to the car wash. The St. Paul teenager's white Camaro was still inside a car wash stall. Investigators say 5 people with guns had a physical confrontation when the gunfire began. Then a second group of suspects arrived and began shooting.
There was in excess of 30 shots fired in that area at the time, and there was numerous people with firearms seen.
Police say the suspects were driving an older Ford Tempo. It is possibly black in color. Information on the St. Paul murder of Brandon Mann could be worth a cash reward of up to $2,000. Please call Crime Stoppers at 452-7463. That's 45-CRIME. And a reminder, you do not have to give your name to be eligible for the cash reward from Crime Stoppers.
Well, we had a lot of heavy rain this morning, and unfortunately there's more to come tonight. Dave Dahl is next with the soggy details.
And later on Eyewitness News at 6:30, we'll have the latest from Florida and the damage toll from Hurricane Allison.
And this isn't Baywatch, this is the real thing. Local lifeguards go through their paces as the Twin Cities pool season quickly approaches. Stay tuned.
Who are the future heroes of the Twin Cities? The Boys and Girls Club helped Dow turn his life around. Now, he teaches other young kids to stay out of gangs and in school.
He's got a genuine concern for helping others.
She's jumped a lot of hurdles in her life, both on and off the track. But Caroline's determination is making her a big success.
I chose to change my own fate.
Beating the odds. That's what being a future hero is all about.
Some mowers come with a 2-year warranty, but there's a string attached. They only cover manufacturer's defects. Another's warranted for 7 years, but there's a string attached. The engine's only covered for 3. But with the new Toro Super Recycler mower, if anything goes wrong within 5 years of normal use, Toro will fix it free. Our string, it's attached to a starting guarantee. Toro, when you want it done right.
It was a world you have only dreamed of. It was the world of Showboat. Showboat, Broadway's Tony Award-winning musical, begins performances July 7th at the Ordway Music Theater. Final block of tickets available at the Ordway box office, all Ticketmaster outlets, or call the Showboat hotline, 612-224-1428.
This Eyewitness News weather update is brought to you by Piper Jaffray.
Drive, focus, determination. For the past 100 years, people have been looking to us for investments that help them set their sights and reach their goals. Piper Jaffray, looking toward the future since 1895.
A lot of softball players wondering if they will be playing their games tonight.
I think they're going to get them in. Even though we had the heavy band move through, it looks like it's going to settle down for the most part for the next couple of hours at least. If you have your game within the next couple of hours, then there are more storms on the way. But out there right now, as we take a live look at Tower Cam, you can see to the northeast of the station here, we're looking right over the State Fairgrounds, the Hippodrome, and showers and storms, especially up northeast of the metro. Our current temperature right now stands at 76. The dew point's 60. It's been high all day. That dew point has dropped a little bit in the last hour. 58% for the relative humidity and a south wind of 10. Today's high temperature made it up to 81. That was before the showers rolled on through the airport area. 76 is the average, so we're above that. 65 this morning, stifling low, and 21/100ths of an inch officially out at the airport. We're going to show you our weather watch system and show you how there were heavier amounts to our north. Sunset is now at 8:55, and you can see around the lakes today. This is around Lake Nokomis. In Minneapolis, a little bit of beach activity. Not much sunshine today, though, because of the clouds and the steamy humidity that we had in the air. Very tropical air sitting over Minnesota. And it was really the breeding ground for some of those heavier storms. Using Doppler Radar 5, I'm going to show you the waves of moisture that came right on through the metro. One morning shower and storm line moved through, and then another one developed late this afternoon. Here it is, and that got many of the 7 counties wet. Now more storms forming way down to the south. We're going to zoom in, though, to the heaviest area up across the northern portions of Chisago County, up through Lake Mille Lacs around Onamia, and then from there stretching back to about Alexandria. That is all lifting northward at about 25 to 30 miles per hour. And rainfall has been very heavy up there to the north. Foley, already 2 to 3 inch rainfall amounts. That's northeast of St. Cloud. Some standing water on some of the roadways there. This is how much rain fell around the Twin Cities area. This is our exclusive Weather Watch system. You can see over an inch across the north. Wayzata at 1.37 and Fridley Middle School at 1.82. Most of the readings down in the southern metro, though, less than 1/4 of an inch. However, more rain is on the way, as we've said. All that shower and storm activity coming via another storm system that's spinning through central Iowa. And as that spins northward, touching off some heavy activity right now across the northern part of Iowa, from around Fort Dodge over to about Mason City, and then those scattered showers around the Twin Cities, and then also up through central Minnesota. And overnight tonight, then we'll see the rain keep that temperature up. Very humid air, low down to 66 tomorrow. Because of the clouds and showers around in the morning, that'll keep us from getting very hot, but it should be a steamy afternoon with a high near 83. That Channel 5 forecast overnight tonight, very tropical out there. Watch out for some of the heavier storms. I do believe they'll probably affect us after about midnight tonight. So well after dark tonight, low temperature down to about 66. Then for tomorrow, some heavy rainfall is a possibility in the morning. Showers and storms, 67. The afternoon, though, I think you can take off the raincoat, put away the umbrella. It should be a very warm and summery afternoon with a high near 83 at least. As we look ahead, though, it cools down a bit, highs in the 70s toward the end of the week, and those showers and storms, because of a persistent storm system, it's just going to sit over the eastern part of the state, and that's going to keep us wet all the way through Friday, but just in time for the weekend. It's going to dry out.
It's a nice pattern we've been having.
It is, yeah, one weekend. Yeah. Well, let's make it into a pattern.
Let's make it a pattern. Yeah. That's good.
Unless you're a golfer.
Yes.
Up next in sports, a big golf week in Minnesota tees off in Brooklyn Park.
Joe Schmidt will have that in a moment. Plus, he's almost 70 years old, but he still goes at baseball with the enthusiasm of a 20-year-old rookie.
And later, do you love the state fair? I mean, really love it? We'll tell you how to become a part of the festivities this year.
Total coverage. It's Unit 5 exposing some Minneapolis firefighters abusing your trust.
We do need to investigate it as a council here and initiate change immediately.
Total coverage. It's bringing you an exclusive interview with the man everyone wanted to talk to. Total coverage. It's the big story and live breaking news every day. Not just coverage, total coverage. Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
We're looking for people who are more than sales professionals. They need the technical knowledge of an engineer.
Analog brake systems have computer controls that help pulse the brakes.
They need the insight of a counselor.
I think this model will really meet your needs the best.
And they need the expertise of a financier.
Even with no money down, your monthly payments can be lowered.
All to help people make one of their biggest decisions, a new car. If you think you have what it takes, see your Greater Metropolitan Automobile dealer.
What happens when you take the best-selling trucks in America and customize them for the best place to live? You get the Northland Edition F-150s. These trucks come with two-tone clear coat paint, custom wheels and tires, special Northland markings, and air conditioning at no extra charge. You can save over $2,900 on this loaded XLT, or buy an XL at a price around $14,400. So look for the mark of the Northland Edition F-150s, the best trucks to drive in the best place to live.
Now you can escape to Las Vegas anytime with Las Vegas Casino Corner. Portable games so close to the real thing you'd swear you're in Vegas. Las Vegas Casino Corner. 2-in-1 poker and 7-card stud. They're the games that let you play just like the casinos. And there's more than 25 different games to play. Even roulette, craps, and slots. Las Vegas Casino Corner. For real casino action, nothing else comes close. Available at Toys R Us, KB Toy Stores, and Marshalls.
Well, Chris, as you mentioned a moment ago, it's a big golf week here in the state of Minnesota.
Let's hope the rain doesn't interfere. It's no surprise, though, Joe Schmidt is at a golf course tonight. He's a big golfer, joins us live from the Mendakota Country Club. What's going on out there, Joe?
Well, we didn't have any rain today. We are at the Moeller Jewelers Tournament for MDA, muscular dystrophy, raising a lot of money with the telethon coming up later this fall. Of course, it's a big golf week, and most of the action will take place this week up at Edinburgh, USA. That's where the Edina Realty LPGA Classic will begin on Friday. The tournament started already today with the Best Buy Charity Classic Pro-Am. Among those taking part this morning, Liselette Neumann. She was the defending champion of this tournament. Some other big names in today's Charity Classic, Jan Stevenson and Michelle McGann. On Friday, 144 of the LPGA's top golfers will begin play for $500,000 in prize money. Well, their business on the field has been lousy, so the Twins are trying to take care of some business off the field. They avoided arbitration by signing Kevin Tapani to a one-year deal worth $3.6 million. That means that Chuck Knobloch is the only player left to sign or to go to arbitration. The Knobber is asking for $3.4 million, while the Twins are offering $2.55. The Twins have not gone to arbitration since 1987. Meanwhile, Twins fans are staying away from the ballpark in force. Their attendance after 20 games at the Dome is down over 31% from last year. And today the Twins announced a promotion that will hopefully bolster that attendance. All night games in June will be $1 for teachers and for students under 18 years old. Well, he has left the Twins, but baseball continues to be the fountain of youth for longtime coach Wayne Terwilliger. And beginning on Friday, Saints fans will be able to see that youthful exuberance all year long. Ed Cairo has that story.
Twig begins his season on the coaching staff of the St. Paul Saints with as much enthusiasm as he's shown for most of his baseball years.
Oh, I'm having a big time. I really am. Looking forward to the opener. And we've had a lot of fun, really have. I think we're going to have a decent ball club, and with a little luck, we could be up there and win something.
That's a remarkable attitude for a guy who's seen the ultimate in the big leagues. A World Series ring with the Twins twice. But that's what makes Twig special. An enthusiasm for baseball he hands down to rookies and veterans alike.
I've been here about a week and a half, and I've learned a lot of things in this week and a half compared to 4 years in college.
Oh, Twig's great. You know, he brings a lot of enthusiasm to the field and definitely a lot of knowledge. You know, he's been around baseball for so long, and he really helps us out, whether we're veterans or rookies, and it's great to have him.
Saints opening day is just about here, and a very special day for Twig is going to happen soon.
A big one is right, yeah. The big 7-0. It's hard for me to believe that, but that's the way it is.
Happy birthday, Twig. Ed Cairo, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Twig has been involved in Major League Baseball for over 45 years. That'll wrap it up here from Mendakota from the Moeller Jewelers MDA Tournament. We're back with more in the tournament coming up at 6:30.
Okay, and our hats off to Moeller. They do an awful lot for MDA, as you and I both know.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Still ahead, they are looking for 2,000 good men and women.
And stay tuned at 6:30 to find out why the O.J. Simpson trial is so close to being over. We'll be right back.